Geez, I don't know if I'm live or not. Let's see what my channel looks like here. Sorry, folks, I'm experimenting with... Oh, okay, a video was supposed to play first. But it did not. Okay, so I actually am live. Okay, I don't need to play that and have this going on at the same time. All right. Hello, folks. I have a topic to discuss this evening. And this evening, I am going to be talking about having a freedom convoy in America. I do not think that it is a good idea. And you are welcome to change my mind if you think that it's a good idea. Instead of having a freedom convoy in America, what I believe that we should be doing is I think that we should be having boycotts. I think it would be much more effective for a whole bunch of truckers to just say, hey, we're not taking anything inside of the DC Beltway. Like, we're done. We're cutting you off. Versus going down there and trying to do like an Occupy type situation. Let's see. I see I have some folks watching here. Can somebody leave me a comment just to make sure that everything is working? Just to make sure that you can hear me. Make sure I have the chat turned on. The chat should be turned on. I'm just not getting any comments going on. Or it could be that my video did work and it did play. I am just uncertain. You'll have to forgive me. You guys know that I do not do a whole bunch of live streaming. So it's really easy for things to go poorly and for me basically just not to be able to really know what's going on. But hey, the more comfortable I will get. Let's see if I can leave a chat to myself. Okay, I just said hello to myself. I guess that is working. Now I'm going to check to see if that is showing up on the screen over here, and it's not. Huh. This is not. Okay. All right. So this did show up over here on the chat. All right, cool. Okay, if it's just me here, that's fine. If nobody else wants to chat, thank you. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to start giving my reasons as to why I think having a freedom convoy in America is not the best of ideas. First of all, I'd like to say that I think we can do it, but if we do it, you just have to kind of, because I don't have any problem with, and I like of showing that we have all this support for this kind of thing in America, but I'd say you could do it in a way that maybe you're driving trucks and you just keep them moving, or you could stop overnight in some towns, but you just keep going. And in that way, I think it will be a much more effective thing. But I don't know. I think that we have learned a lot, or at least I have learned a lot from the whole January 6th incident. I just think that trying to do a freedom convoy in America is basically a false flag waiting to happen. Okay. I think that we saw that one thing that we saw with the January 6th thing that I would not be surprised to see them do again is, these truckers are going to get down there and then it's going to be like, oh, hey, college. Since when was fighting for freedom a bad idea? I never said fighting for freedom is a bad idea. What I'm saying is we need to fight smarter, not harder. And what I'm saying, okay, so Kyle H, do you think that they are going to try to false flag the event? Oh, hello, favored nation. All right, let's chat. Yeah, Kyle, do you think that they're going to false flag this event? We've just gone through January 6th. And we've just watched what happened with the folks in Ottawa. I am saying, trust me, I'm all for fighting. I'm one of the number one fighters out here. I'm just saying, I think that there are better ways to fight. And I think it's much better to boycott DC and not to, to stop shipping products in there versus showing up. And then, you know what's going to happen. I can already tell you what's going to happen. They're going to send Antifa folks in there, and they're going to send them in with the Yahtzee flags and the Confederate flags. And, the fake news, they already have their scripts. They're pre-written. Oh, it's it's white supremacists. You know what I'm talking about? Those folks, it's going to be nothing but them. All right. This won't be about freedom. It's gonna, and it won't matter how many Black people are there. It won't matter how many Mexican or Hispanic people are there. It won't matter how many Asian people are there. It's all going to be, nothing but the supremacists and the Yahtzees. They've already written that. I think in America by now, the lines are already drawn in the sand. We already know that we are the silent majority. We know this. And we know where we stand. And they're going to let Antifa in there. Antifa is going to be all over the place, and they're going to infiltrate just like they did on January 6th. And I saw this with my own two eyes. I was there on the ground. I saw, like, first of all, like, if you go over to Rumble, you can see my video that I did on it, where I exposed so much of this information. That Jade Next guy, I saw him on the ground. And then I also like, in retrospect, because I was over back by the Washington Monument, I was there at the same time that, like I said, go over to Rumble and check out my video over there, because I post the messages that they were having an Antifa meeting. I think it was at 11, and that was around the time where I was there. And I remember I saw this group of people that were there, and they were wearing white hard hats, but they all, multiple of the people in this group, they had white hard hats on, and they all had clothes that didn't fit. Like, these clothes were way too big. They were way too baggy. It was like somebody went to the store and bought just like XLs, like XL, like overalls for everyone in the group. And like, I know that these had to be leftists, because white hard hats are for managers, and managers typically make enough money to buy clothes that fit. And of course, if you're like an Antifa guy and you're a basement living liberal, you don't understand that. You don't understand that different colored hard hats mean different things. And then later, what I see these same, I can't say for sure that they're the same exact people, but then, but I see people dressed very similarly, and they're the ones that brought the ropes and are like climbing up the Capitol with the ropes. So I saw that in pictures later, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I just really feel like, haven't we been false flagged enough? We're just going to be walking right into that. I think it's way better to fight by using boycotts. All right. So, all right. William says, truck, park them and strike in place. Yep. Favorite Nation 34 says, let them do that. It's time for a real civil war. I mean, we're already in a real civil war. Trust me, I know, because they're trying to take my job. Who cares about the media? Oh, well, I completely hate the fake news media, of course, and I spend a decent amount of time debunking them. But unfortunately, for some reason or another, they still have, I think the probably the number one reason why they still have influence is because they're just doing this censorship. So they have a lot of people thinking that real life is Twitter. And so, if we can take them down, then we don't have to have a hot civil war. I don't want a hot civil war. I really do not. Trust me, I do not. And I don't think anybody really does. Kyle, Kyle H says you understand, or I understand they for sure have their counter move. Oh, favored nation. Yeah. You believe that it is time to activate. I have a hill that I will die on, but this one isn't it. I believe in holding out for peace as long as humanly possible. Perceived influence. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely losing, right? When you look at the numbers, you can see that they're dying out. But but in some ways, when people, when they're like reaching for their last breath, that can be sometimes when they're like the most dangerous. Oh, yeah. So we'll have, Antifa's going to show up. They're going to pretend that they're Trump supporters. Yeah, we'll have the fake news. I really feel like if we do this, we are giving them exactly what they want. We will be playing into their hands, and the rhinos, they're not doing anything to help the people in the DC gulag. It's just going to be a whole bunch of truckers and peaceful people. They're just going to throw them in the gulag. And I don't know how much seeing these images going on is going to help versus, when they show up with, oh, look, bombs. Somebody brought bombs. We know who brought bombs. We know who brought the bombs. Like, and it wasn't us, but they're going to show up with bombs. Like, do we really need this? Do we really need this? I don't think that we do. I don't see what we get out of this. I don't think that this is a power move. I wouldn't mind seeing, like I said earlier, for some of you guys who are coming in here before, like just a cross country thing, where you just drive cross country, everyone like shows up, and you wave and you keep it moving. Hey, and like it's a great rallying cry and everybody's happy and we cheer and all that. That is fantastic. But like I said, we need to fight smarter, not harder. Boycott. Do not take anything to DC. Cut them off. Cut them all the way off. And that's also, I think, what the people in Ottawa need to be doing now. Yeah, because oh man, that's a mess up there. They're seizing people's bank accounts. They're not letting people out of jail. They're charging them with like mischief, and you can't get out. Like, you can't get bailed out for like these super minor charges. No, this is crazy. I mean, I think in Ottawa, though, that they definitely are changing people's minds. The first numbers that I looked at were that I think it was 39% of Canadians, only 39% of Canadians were supporting like getting rid of these mandates. And then I think the last number that I had seen, it had moved up to like 50% So I guess, watching old indigenous Mohawk women being trampled by horses, I guess that moves people, but I'm not willing to be, that person who gets trampled by a horse. You know what I say? I say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not getting false flagged again. Okay. If y'all want to go down there and get false flagged, that's on you. Just don't look at me to do that. I want to play a game that they're not going to have something, that they're not going to have a way to fight against. And I'm telling you what, boycotts are perfect because a lot of these, millennial liberals, they're not going to go get their CDLs to replace the truckers who won't go and deliver goods. They're not going to do that. Are you kidding me? They think that they're beneath that. They're way too good to drive trucks. And of course, I'm not. And I love truck drivers. I have a lot of friends that drive trucks. I'm in no way denigrating truck drivers, and I understand and appreciate what they do. But a lot of people don't, right? I mean, I think there are a lot of kids these days who would rather sit in their mom's basements and starve versus learn how to drive a truck and actually start delivering goods. So yeah, these, trust me, the deep state, the Brandon administration, they have been watching everything that's been going on in Ottawa, and they have been planning for this. They're already deploying the National Guard. Like, they are waiting for this. You know, they're like, please come down here and do this. And I'm like, why give them what they want? Give them what they don't want. Give them what they're not prepared for. Make them go and get the National Guard to start getting CDLs, or better yet, the feds that they've been training. I can guarantee you, they got some feds right now that they've been training to drive. They've been training to drive these trucks, and I don't know, maybe they'll have a fed go and like drive into a building or do something crazy. Nah, I'm good. I've had enough. Trust me, I've had enough. I don't need to do this again. All right. Let's see who is in the. Oh, it says, don't stutter. You know what? I don't. I don't live stream a lot, so I'm nervous. So that's just going to happen until I get more comfortable. It's going to be a while. Tanya, I heard they weren't going near the Capitol. I don't think it matters if they go near the Capitol or if they don't. Just going down there, going into that enemy territory, not a good idea. What's funny, you can literally smell liberal a mile away. Plus, by the way they talk. I mean, yeah, I was able to, like, so I know I spotted them, like they registered in my mind, but I really wasn't like all the way thinking that things were going to go down like that. Oh, Kyle H? Oh, what's my suggestion? How do I play smarter? Yes, I said boycotts. We just boycott them. All right. Okay. You think the white running things. All right. So you're probably into the whole devolution thing. The Boogaloo Boys will probably show up to the American Convoy in DC. Yes, Boogaloo Boys. And I showed that over on Rumble. Their messages from, I think, Discord, talking about how they were infiltrating the whole January 6th situation. And they did. Yep. All those people. We don't need those people showing up and doing bad things and then making us look like bad guys. Curated Style set, you think I'm doing great? Well, thank you. Thank you, Curated Style. Spank the monkey. The American Convoy is supposed to drive through DC and then go to the outskirts and shut down the freeways. Okay. I think that's a better plan than sticking inside of DC. I do, but I think that a lot of people are gonna still, like, they're gonna throw people in the gulag. You're not gonna be able to get out, and they're gonna, like I said, these Antifa folks, they're gonna show up, they're gonna infiltrate, and they're just gonna make people look bad. And they already have the military there. They will start towing almost immediately. The American Benjamin Andrews. Good grief, not another Klan rally. When are they coming? Yeah, man, those Democrats, they love that Klan stuff. Tanya, I have faith that American truckers are prepared. I'm scared, but I do believe it needs to happen. You don't stutter. Oh, no, I do. That's one of the reasons. Well, it's not really a stutter, because this would be if I said something like, but that's technically a stutter. I don't do that, but I repeat myself a lot. That's why I like to edit videos, and I cut all that out, and I sound much clearer when I'm not live. Although it takes so much longer to edit videos, it's so much easier just to come on and live stream, but then I'm nervous, which makes me repeat myself more. Then we are backing down to them. No, we don't back down. We don't back down. We just fight in a way through boycotting that where they can't arrest you, they can't take your things away, and you just really make them suffer. Benjamin Andrews, Biden should give them the same treatment that Trudeau did in Canada. And you know what, Benjamin Andrews, you know what I think? I think that that's why we don't go in. That's why we boycott, so that he can't do that. You know, starve him out. That's much more effective. Tina says you agree, but it's too big. Are they planning to storm the Capitol again? You know what, Benjamin? I honestly believe that Antifa and the boys and the feds, you know what? I bet Ray Epps I bet Ray Epps is gonna show up in a truck. Ray, they got right now Ray Epps is over at over the CDL school getting his license so he can show up again. I absolutely guarantee, yeah, there are some feds that are getting ready to do that, man. That's what I'm saying. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Oh, well, thank you, Benjamin. You're feeling my look. Feeling classy. Thank you. All right, I'll see you later, Benjamin. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good. You know, guys, I gotta start doing some sort of regular schedule here with things. I don't know. I'm a mess, and I let like my anxiety build up and stuff, and sometimes it gets hard to try to talk to folks. And there's also this thing. Actually, I think live streaming is a lot easier than just filming a regular video, because it's weird staring into a camera and there's nobody there that you're interacting with. At least when you're reading things, it's more interactive. It's just, I don't know, it's something you got to get used to. And then I'm always afraid that I'm going to say something wrong. And because sometimes I like to make a lot of jokes off the cuff. And then, sometimes you make a terrible joke. And then if you make the wrong joke, everybody wants to try to cancel everyone these days. Tanya or Tanya, they'll pull many false flags. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for free speech and peacefully assembling, but I mean, their playbook is out in the open. Okay, their playbook. we already know their playbook. We've already seen all these people who are, that we want to see arrested, like Ray Epps. There's a girl, I can't remember what her name is, but there are people who are like they're not even on the FBI wanted list, or the FBI puts them on their wanted list and then they take them off and like, hey, we're pretty sure these are feds. Can you go arrest the feds? And they're like, absolutely not. No, we will not be arresting the feds. But I found a grandma over there. I found a MAGA grandma. We better lock her up and throw away the key. Like, well, what was she doing? Well, she was, walking inside the velvet ropes after the cops opened up the doors, after they unlocked the doors and let her in, and then stopped and posed and took pictures with her. Crazy. Knuckles. Well, hello. So I don't know, this whole thing. Yeah, this whole thing is crazy. Is there anybody else here who still wants to go in and participate in the false flag? If y'all want to go in, if y'all think that that's a good idea, leave me a message in the chat. We can talk about it. Spank the monkey. Did anyone hear about the recent Rose City Antifa shootout in Portland the other night? Yes, I did. And folks, does anybody believe the Antifa version of the story? Yeah, put a smiley face. Put a smiley face in the chat if you believe the Antifa version of the story. I'll wait. Okay, no. So this seems to be like a crazy story. I really am curious as to what actually happened. It looks like the Antifa folks were picking up shell casings and trying to form their own narrative as to what happened. I don't know. I haven't reported on that yet. Not just because I don't upload enough, but also because I'm just waiting for something more definitive. Portland, it's one of these major cities. I'm hoping, I'm hoping that there are some cameras, maybe some street cameras, but somebody somewhere has something on film, and I'm just waiting until something comes out. I do not believe a word that anybody, that any of these Antifa folks say. Oh, okay. And it says, yeah, maybe your commie sister does. Oh, I'm sorry, your sister's a commie. Oh, you think these convoys are just jacking up the gas prices? You can't see the benefit. Well, I think that there is some benefit in Canada, but I think that benefit is really to show the world just how evil and just how how evil these people are and how bad things have become. But I think for us Americans, I think we know that already. We already know. And honestly, when you look at the polling numbers, it is, I hate to say that, trampling old women, it is actually changing people's minds. But here in America, I think that people are just really, 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 really dug in. I mean, we are really dug in. I think there's, lines have been drawn in the sand. And to me, like I said, I'm not willing to get trampled to change anybody's mind. If you want to change my mind or you want my mind changed, you can come talk to me on YouTube. I'm going to be here. I'll be right here. Hanging out with these two and Trumpy Bear. That's where I'll be. I'm not going back into the fray, not for this one. I don't think it's worth it, and I don't think it's a good idea. But I also think, hi, Stuck in the Middle. Hey, what's good? Yeah. You know what? I want to get together with you this week. That would be awesome. Hey. Yeah, so Stuck in the Middle I'm talking about, I think that having a freedom convoy in America is a bad idea if we go in and try to occupy a place and just stay there. I think that it would be much more effective to just boycott DC. Because I'm concerned about, I think it's basically just a false flag waiting to happen. I got Spank the Monkey. This woman interrupted the police conference and said that they were calling us. What's funny is that she was white and the homeowner was white. Oh yeah, and what was even funnier was that the guy that she was interrupting was black. I was actually thinking about doing a skit where I dressed up like her, put a mask on, and I was just gonna yell a bunch of nonsense. But it's like the news cycle moves so fast. It moves faster sometimes than I can write a comedy skit. And unfortunately, it's just me writing comedy all by myself. I actually have a skit right now that I'm editing, and it should be up for tomorrow. Actually, I have two. I have two that are in the tank here that I need to try to get up or get together and get up. Stuck in the Middle says, if the U.S. truckers are as organized as Canadian truckers, it will be okay. And I don't blame you. Yep, false flag vibes are there. Okay. All right, that's cool. Admiral Six Killer, it's more like a union strike to hold up shipping. Bare Knuckles agrees on the false flag. Evan Williamson says pure trash. Yeah, so it's just it's a mess. It's a mess, and I'm done with messy. I'm done with messy, and I'm telling you, this is what they're waiting for. This is what they want. They absolutely want us to go and show up and try to take something over. That's why the National Guard is already there. They're waiting. Spank Monkey says, we need some truckers to drive a big tanker up the middle of the convoy so police can't take the fuel away like they did in Canada. Yeah. Even if they do that, it's not going to stop the false flags. Like I could see maybe like if they just go in and come out, maybe there won't be a false flag, but it's just like if you go and try to occupy and stay, they're going to false flag it for sure. Admiral Six Killer, don't believe the media. They won't tell you 100% the 100% truth in every situation. They won't tell you 100% truth in any situation, man. Ralph. Oh, hi, Ralph. How's it going? You need 100,000 times more trucks than Jimmy Hoffa had. Yeah. And that would be another thing, too. I mean, maybe if we had like 1 million trucks show up, that might be a slightly different story. Yeah, they would still be false flagging it. But with that, 1 or 2 million trucks, actually, I don't even know how many trucks there are. I don't know what percentage of trucks that would be in the country. But I mean, if you had an overwhelming number of trucks, maybe it would become like too difficult for them to try to deal with. I mean, when you look at the January 6th numbers, well, I mean, they were able to arrest like 800 out of, and I kid you not, like 1 million people. 1 million people were there easy. When you see those pictures of like what's going on in the crowd and stuff, what a lot of people don't realize is that not everyone was even there, because we started over on over close, what is it, over in the Ellipse area, and people were in the building before everyone had even moved from like one section to another section. So yeah, when I was there, I was on the other side of the reflecting pond. I was actually like nowhere near anything. I had no idea anything was going on. It was crazy. Like I was just sitting down. And you can see this if you watch my video on it on Rumble. I'm just like, and people are singing Jesus songs, and people are buying hot dogs and they're taking selfies. And I had heard a couple of pops, but I thought like maybe there were fireworks or something. I was like, all right, it's cool. And then somebody runs through the crowd and they're like, Pence just stabbed Trump in the back. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what? And I'm sitting there and like, I'm looking at my cell phone and I'm reading and it says like, there are people inside the Capitol and there's a bomb somewhere in the area. And I was like, wait, what? And I'm like, look at my phone. And I'm looking at the Capitol. I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at the Capitol because I can't see anything. Like there were so many people there, and they're still flooding in, and it's like I can't see anything. I can't hear anything, and I was just like, I couldn't even believe that was even happening, because the attitude and the mood, the atmosphere of where I was. I mean, there were old ladies on walkers. There were babies in strollers. Like I said, there was people, like hippies and Jesus stuff going on. It wasn't like a natural crowd thing. That was just not the mood of the crowd at all. It wasn't, oh, let's go like, nah, it was so like regular. It was like a little experience. And then like I had thought about trying to get closer to get some footage. And then, I guess the people I was with were like, no, we got to go because they're probably going to shut down the public transportation. What is it, the metro? Yeah, because I'd taken the metro in, and I was like, oh no, like I don't want to be stuck like in DC having to walk like miles and miles and miles because they shut down the metro. And don't you know it? They shut down the metro. The even weirder part was, and I wish I had been able to go back and find this message that I saw on Twitter, because somehow on Twitter, before I even went, I had seen this message from like some weird leftists, and they had put out a warning saying, if you're with us, whatever you do, don't take the metro in. And I was like, that's a really weird thing for somebody to write. It's like, how did these people know that the metro, trust me, how did the Antifa folks know that the metro was going to be shut down before the event even happened? Okay, to be fair, they didn't say that the metro was shut down. All they said was don't take it. But how did they know not to take the metro? Yeah, okay. So anyway, yeah, I wound up leaving. We need some truckers and big tanker. Yeah. Evan Wilkinson. Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously the title should be reinforce my opinion. No, it's not reinforce my opinion. Honestly, like, I'm pretty open to stuff. I'm just waiting for somebody. I'm like if you have like a really, really good reason as to why you think that, that we should do this, like, I'm more than open to hearing it. Like, I'm not going to call you a name or anything. I'm just going to say, hey, like, I think this reeks of false flaggery. and that them already being set up and calling in the National Guard, when they didn't call in have they called the National Guard in for what? Like, I mean, even like 2% of what's been going on with like the BLM riots, even though I think like it was around 30, maybe 30 plus people have died and there's been billions of dollars in damage. And like buildings have been burned, like children have been killed, like 8-year-old Sequoia Turner. Did we ever call in the National Guard for any of that? No, but they're not even there. Nobody's even there, and they're already calling in the National Guard. Like, something doesn't smell right to me on this one. But if you think if that doesn't like set off any alarms for you, or if you think that, hey, you still go ahead with that, and instead of doing a boycott, if you think that's a good idea, you're free to make your case. I probably won't agree with you though. Ralph Riley says, if you shut down 95, that shuts down the whole eastern seaboard. Yeah, it does. And actually I actually lived in the Baltimore, DC area for 10 years. So I am very familiar with that area and like where to go and where not to go and how to do all that. Admiral Six Killer, I'm concerned about it. If it happens, will Biden pull a Trudeau? I think he would love to pull a Trudeau, but this is still America, and even though they have been slowly eroding our freedoms, we still have way more freedoms than our friends to the north have. So I don't think he'll be seizing anybody's bank accounts. I'd say watch out for the gulag, though. If you go down there, you're going to be they're going to put you in the DC gulag, and they're going to be, oh, it's an insurrection. People were holding hands and singing "We Are the World." Yeah, I got to get a new chair. This looks like garbage. I also got to get my background together. Like, this is a mess. Like, this looks so tacky. It looks so tacky, but I'm a kind of a tacky person. I don't know. I got weird taste. Where we go. Elizabeth K says, you agree he probably will. Admiral Sixco says organized. Evan Williamson, well, do you understand why you should? Why you should what? I'm not sure. I need to read Titania. I can think of many of the reasons why the truckers should do this. Okay. Yum today. Okay. And it was 100% he would pull a Trudeau. Yeah, if he had some crazy emergency powers, then no, presidents do have emergency powers. Ralph grew up in Newark, Delaware. I-95 went straight through it. Yeah, I think I've taken it. I've been all the way down to Florida on 95, and yeah, up to New York and a little past New York too. Good old 95. Man, those were the days. Those are the days back when I went to I went to college in Baltimore, and my best friend was in Philly. I used to take the Greyhound, and she'd hop on in Philly, and we go up to New York, have some fun, back in the day. Go see a little, go watch Les Mis, go see a little Broadway show. Sorry, that's totally off topic. Speaking of monkey, I think they already are planning a Canadian move. They called in the National Guard, so a counteroffensive is already definitely planned. Yeah, I mean, this is what they're. I just feel like we're just like walking into a trap. Like we're walking into a trap. All we have to do is boycott, and that's what the Canadians should be doing now. Just boycott. Just cut them off. Cut them off. Yeah, 100% he will seize an asset, including bank accounts. Trudeau set the precedent. He set the precedent, but we don't have the same laws. Like in Canada, they don't even have freedom of speech. And I know that they're trying to eliminate that on these platforms, but it goes further than that in Canada. Like you can get in trouble, like you get thrown in jail for like bad jokes or for jokes over there. Like I know we think of Canada as being very similar to America, but it's not. Like they just don't have our freedoms, and that's why I love America. It's just a totally different country. Okay. Ralph, we know you're taking. That's one of the qualities we love about you. Oh, thank you, Ralph. Tanya, we extended his emergency powers. Sorry if I refuse to call him. I don't ever like watch any of my videos. I have never once, and never ever will I ever say that about that person. Nope. Because I think we all know who. Let me go get my president. Hold on, he's right back here. At least I have pants on. There may be pajama pants, but they're pants. I have one of those. There we go. There we go. My camera got blurry. Here he is. It's President Trumpy Bear. That's my president. He actually he's in his second term on my shelf. So and listen, if you don't have a convoy, what exactly would that accomplish? He's just gonna steamroll your God-given rights all the while. No, okay. I'm saying have a boycott instead of a convoy, or have a convoy that just keeps moving and doesn't stop. That's what that accomplishes. The boycott does the same thing as boycotting DC does the same thing as having a protest. It's just that there's no one there to arrest. There's no one, and there's no way to false flag it. There you go. There you go. We have now, if you do it that way, how, and maybe I'm wrong. Actually, yeah, you guys tell me if you do a boycott, because really this is a brainstorming session, and I am, I need my ideas to be challenged. So can you tell me what are the downsides of having a boycott? Like what is there something that I'm missing in having a boycott versus having a protest? I mean, we have those, you're forced to go to work things. I mean, I think I've seen that in like one or two cases here and there, but in America, that's not really a thing. You can't force people to work. I mean, maybe like unless you're in the military, but that's not this situation. Boycotts, strikes, we can do that. And then, like I said, there's no way to seize your assets. There's no way to do any of that. You're not giving them a lot to work with. I mean, I'm trying to find ways around their plans. And I wish I were bigger. I wish I was larger and I could have these conversations with people who are more influential so we could get that message out there that, hey guys, just don't go. Just don't go. Don't service them. Just cut them off. They have no problems cutting us off, right? You know, they cut us off of YouTube, they cut us off of Facebook, they cut us off of Google, they cut us off all the time, you know. They don't let, and especially people like me who are like unvaccinated on top of it, you know, let me go to New York. You know, they won't let me go to a restaurant. They cut me off. They cut me off of everything. Just cut them off. Cut them off. And I wouldn't just cut them off there. I would cut too. New York needs to be cut all the way off. Cut off New York. Don't take anything to DC and don't take anything to New York. You think the supply chain is bad now? Triple that. Triple that. Bring them to their knees. Have them begging. Like I said earlier, because like these younger millennial folks who are liberals, they're not going to step up to the plate. They're not going to go get their CDLs, and it's going to take them forever. Well, I think, okay, CDL programs are usually, I think, about 6 to 8 weeks. But these people, they think they're too good to be truck drivers. They're not going to do that. They're going to sit up, you know, they're going to lay up in their parents' basements, and they're not going to replace these workers. And a lot of them, they don't even know that like truckers deliver things. They don't understand like on-time delivery. They don't understand how any of that works. Like this is way better. And cut off Portland too. Cut off DC. Cut off Portland. Cut off New York. I think that's how we win. It's a lot better than standing there and letting the police beat you in the head and being trampled by horses. Cut them off. Yeah, Evan, for me, it's not if you don't have a convoy, what would that accomplish? For me, it's if you do have a convoy, what would that accomplish? What would that accomplish? I mean, yeah, we could have like a rah moment, and then you know what? Here come the jackboot thugs. They're gonna beat you and throw you in the gulag with the January 6th people. Admiral Six Taylor. Oh yeah, emergency powers to defy your Fourth Amendment rights against legal search and seizure. Yeah, and they monitor your bank accounts for $600 transfers. Yes. Oh wow. I got a little behind in the chat here, folks. Sorry. Trap is apathy. I don't think you understand the importance. All right, Tanya, you're gonna have to tell me the importance. I mean, if you're talking about like more than symbolically, I mean, like I said, just do it, but keep it moving. Just, I don't think that I don't think that we need to do this again. How many times do we have to have them like sit around and like call us all like white supremacists? And folks, I've been called a white supremacist. Okay, people threaten to come after me for being a white supremacist. I'm over it. I'm all the way over it. Beyond over it. You join the convoy if you could. Well, you know, you don't really have to join the convoy. You could just show up. You could go to DC. If you do something and don't join the convoy, things will continue. If you do nothing and don't join the convoy, I'm not saying do nothing. I'm saying do a boycott. I'm saying do a boycott. Do not do nothing. Don't do nothing. Do something. Just don't do the convoy. Do the convoy in a different way with the boycott. I am all for fighting. Trust me, I'm all for fighting. Like, my job is on the line. I filed my religious exemption because even though I don't think of myself as a healthcare worker because I am not, I'm not a doctor or a nurse. Technically, I'm in the mental health field right now. Even though I'm a chemist, I'm not working in my field. I'm working in the mental health field, and my job is reimbursed through, I think it's Medicaid. Therefore, I'm subject to something with that, but I'm not taking anything. I am fighting. Trust me, I'm fighting, and I'm putting my money and my career, my job where my mouth is. I am fighting. I stand up and I say no. I do. I do. And I speak out. And I make myself, a bit of a target. And I typically, I don't talk about, like the negative things that can happen even when you're like a small scale person like me. But yeah, I've had people. I don't want to get into it because you don't want to give those kind of things attention. So it's Ted, Admiral, yep, and more. Oh, Ralph likes the Trumpy bear. Elizabeth K likes the Trumpy bear. Have some just held in review. I'll show that. Okay. Yes. All right. You can do something bad to a baby because it's your body, but yeah. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Yes, and I am all the way pro-life. I will talk about that one day. Boycotts don't work. If they did, they would have already worked. Evan, they already have worked. It was part of the civil rights movement in America, and then also like movements in other countries. It does work. Curious saw Heart from the Bear. Nobody's going to do a boycott. Well, perhaps if let's share this video, or let's talk about this and let's spread the message. I mean, what I'm just not seeing the point in going through another false flag. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Jeff Holden. Where you been? Oh, I'm here, but I'm also a lot of times I get stuck in my own head, and I get nervous, and I don't want to upload, or just life, and had a recent death of a very close or close family member, so I've just kind of been in a funk lately, but starting to pull out of that funk. But there've been a lot of deaths lately. I lost two friends in a week. Americans have the right to protest and the right to burn. Whoa, Bob! You went a little too far there. You went a little too far. Plenty of companies are saying that you do that or you get fired. Yeah, that's no good. Let me Evan says the apathy is too strong. If there is a boycott, they will simply ignore it until the individual company collapses. Then they will shrug and move on. Who wins there? Okay. Evan, okay, maybe the when I'm talking about a boycott, I'm talking about truckers refusing to ship. I'm talking about truckers refusing to take things in. Okay? Like, I'm saying don't deliver products to certain places. And because we have just-in-time deliveries with things like food and stuff, I mean, you could make things get really ugly really fast. I mean, really ugly really fast. And how many people are going to be getting their food from like Amazon Prime and stuff like that? I'll tell you what, truckers could hold out much longer with refusing to ship products, particularly food and gas and just general supplies. We can hold out longer than they can. Bob wants to know, am I for or against BLM? let's see. That's a two-tiered thing. All right, BLM, the organization, of course, I am 1,000% against, because they are trained Marxists who believe in what did they say? They want to like disrupt or destroy their family. So of course I'm 1,000% against that. I'm 1,000% I'm 1,000% the leaders at the top, okay, who are collecting money off of the bodies of people who have passed away, but then like not sharing any money with those families, and those families are suing because they're raising money and then like not giving them any, and then they're all buying mansions. So that part I am 1,000% against. I also acknowledge that they are getting a lot of people worked up over false narratives, where they are. But the part that I do support, it's not even I support. I when I think about BLM, what I see is I see a lot of good people that are wrapped in that movement. Why? Because I have family members that are wrapped up in that movement, and they, like they're regular people like me, and they're not rioting, and they're not like burning things down and looting. Like I'm not talking about the people who are looting, and because that is a small percentage of people. So BLM and Antifa are different organizations. I think they get lumped together a lot. I'd say like everybody is a horrible, terrible, awful person. If you show up and you're like, here, I'm in Antifa, you're showing up for one reason and one reason only, and that's to go out and try to hurt other people. BLM, that's a different organization. When you get above the leadership and you look at the people, you're looking at people who have legitimate concerns. And I'd say take a look at my video that I've done on how to fix the Black community. If I can remember, I'll link it after this stream is done. But I think there are a lot of legitimate gripes that people have that are all getting lumped under situations that aren't true. If that makes any sense, like the Michael Brown thing, where like there's this false narrative of, oh well, Michael Brown, he was, it was hands up, don't shoot, and that's not what happened at all. When you get to the court case, he was actually fighting the cop for his gun, and it was most definitely like a justified situation. But I think that people are getting emotional about that, and they're kind of how do I put this? All right, I think it's fair to say that there is something that's really, really, really wrong with the African American community, right? Like there's a reason why, there's a reason why the murders are so high and poverty is so high, and I think that's the anger and the upset. Like I understand being upset about something like that. Like if I lived in a neighborhood where bullets were flying through my window and maybe my 5-year-old got killed, yeah, I'd be furious. I'd be in the streets. And I think that people are taking that anger and they're channeling it into false narratives instead of focusing on what the actual problems are, if that makes any sense to you. So I understand the anger. And so if you look at my video, I talk about what the real causes of of this anger and why things are so bad. Like one of the things I do is that I work in inner city schools, and honestly, these schools are disgraceful. These schools are absolutely disgraceful, and of course they're under Democrat control. And one of the biggest things that you'll see is that these Democrats, they come out and they start screaming, oh, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough money. Do you know what they do? They steal the money. They steal the money. Just one thing, public schools, they had well over 200 ghost employees on the books, right? And these schools, like these are the schools where the kids, like there aren't enough books, for them to even be able to do homework. Ghost employees basically are people who don't work there. Like they don't work there, and they're and people are just saying, "Oh yeah, we have all these people," and then these people are just stealing all the money and that's for the children and for their education. They get nothing. A lot of people don't understand that the fraud and the stealing from these children, it is so bad. It is so bad. It's disgraceful. And then you look at what happened down in Atlanta, where there were so many teachers that they started like fudging. They fudged the notes for the achievement scores so that they could collect like big giant bonus checks, and the kids can't read. Like this is what we're dealing with. Yeah. There are a lot of reasons to be angry. You can be angry about the fatherless home situation where the government is financially incentivizing single parent families. I'm pissed about that. These are programs that I want to end. I'm mad about redlining. You know who did that? FDR. You know what FDR was? A Democrat. You know what I'm upset about? I'm upset about the actions that Biden took both under Reagan and Clinton. It was the 90. I always get these is the 92 or the 94 Clinton crime bill. I get the years mixed up sometimes, and the two different things he did. Biden is the one who came up with the 3 strikes rule, and then he came up with the 100-to-1 cocaine to crack rule, where hey, you know what? If you're black, you're going to jail, right? You're going to jail for the rest of your life while his son Hunter gets to smoke as much crack as he wants. Are you kidding me? You know what? Yeah, there are a lot of reasons to be mad. There are a lot of reasons to be upset. That's another reason why I get really mad when I hear about this whole institutional racism, because it is this big like amorphous term that that people just throw out there. Oh, like you have to tear down the whole system. Things are so bad. No, that's not how things work in America. It's not some big amorphous system like it. And I normally I say, yeah, it's the Democrat and the Democrat policies, but it's the Democrats and their policies, but it's more than that. Actually, it's more the deep state. We have the rhinos involved too. And I need to stop using like, oh, just this is like a right left problem. This is like the deep state versus everybody else. Because it's not just black people who are experiencing this. There's people of all races and all colors who are like trapped in this school to prison pipeline situation. And yes, yeah, you know what? People should be mad. People should be rioting. It's just there's nobody there. There's nobody at the front of that movement to say what I just said, to point these people in the right direction so they know what to be upset about and they know who to go after. Because if they knew if they knew what I know, like they would have never, there would have been 0 votes, even though that wouldn't have mattered. Even though that would have mattered, and we'd still be in the situation that we are now. But yeah, okay, so that's how I feel about BLM. I think there's a lot of legitimate reasons for people to be upset. They just need to be voiced, and they need somebody who can actually voice that and point out that basically what I said, and then more. That's just like a tiny part. That's just a tiny part. I have like an hour-long rant if you'd like to dig deep into how I actually feel about this. But that's a whole nother video. And I totally got off track. Sorry. Bob Denver, you triggered me. I got triggered for a moment there. Tanya said, "Stock up and pray for our truck." Yeah, and I'm gonna go through this chat and I'm gonna wrap up. Start wrapping up here. Jeff Holden, you must be shadow banned or something because I'm showing you a subscribe, but you haven't seen anything from over a year. Oh, hey Jeff. I don't know. Have you tried clicking the bell? I don't know. I think if you hit the bell for notifications, but even if you do, they don't work. And it's funny, every time I upload, it seems like I lose more and more subscribers. Makes me a little bit sad sometimes. I'm Admiral Six Killer. Build a wall around New York and get a snake biscuit and get a pizza in half an hour. Okay, thanks, Bob. Someone told you there was a better way. If someone told you something was better way for you, would you do what they said? If just some random person said there was a better way, I mean, you would have to prove to me that it was a better way, and I'm open to listening to better ideas if that's what you're asking. But if just someone said this is better, like I wouldn't accept it on face value. I don't, like, you have to prove things to me. Evan says, you need to force people to look or they will literally, or they quite literally won't look. You need to expose the true face of the government. That's what I try to do. And you guys should check out my cartoons all about the whole Spygate / Obamagate thing / because I try to expose them where I can. Evan, you've taken your little reading. You're in Canada, and guess what? You noticed us, didn't you? Oh, did you get beaten in the thing? Oh, yeah. But I said, you know what, Canada, I'm so sorry that you have actually literally taken a beating. If you hadn't taken your beating, you'd never heard of the Convoy, but I did. Now you're aware. Boycotts. Okay, boycotts will never work. Evan, once again, boycotts have already worked. They have already worked in America, but we're in different countries, and I think one of the things is it seems like the whole world kind of knows about like America and American culture, and you guys see our movies and you watch our TV shows and you hear about our news. But for us, it's not so much the same with other countries. Like I think maybe the next biggest country maybe is like England, really, for us. But we don't really so I think that you have to kind of take that in mind, is that I think people already know what's going on in America, right? So people didn't know what was going on in Canada, but we kind of know here. And from the American standpoint, we definitely know what's going on here. I'm not so much worried about how we are looking to the rest of the world. I'm kind of more focused on how we fight the smart way here. And boycotts work in America. I don't know about Canadian history. I guarantee you probably know more about our history, in the American history, than we do about yours. It's not really something that's taught to us in school. And I don't know. I guess I've watched that TV show with Momoa in it where he's in Canada. I can't even remember the name of that show now, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just an ignorant American. See, I don't think that we need to take beatings for people to know about us anymore, because people already know about America, because we're just kind of I don't know. We just kind of get more press than other folks. Admiral Six Killer. And called every dirty name there is. And he said that they're half right. Bob says there's a list of companies requiring, things. Tina says America has been taken over. I don't know if it's completely taken over, but I mean, there's definitely a struggle, and I believe that we can take it back. I do believe we can win. Bob says, U.S. jobs require, some are and some aren't. A lot of places have just dropped it because the Supreme Court came out and said that what Biden was trying to do, you can't do. Sorry, you can't do. This is America. It's not Canada, right? And even though they're trying to take away our freedoms, our founding fathers did such a good job that I mean, they're trying, but there's a lot to whittle away there. I mean, it's a lot harder than you think. And I know a lot of our politicians, they're in the pockets of big pharma, they're in the pockets of China. But even with that, thank goodness for the founding fathers and just crafting an amazing piece of legislation. And also thanks to the Iroquois Federation, because actually a lot of the Constitution came from the Iroquois Federation and their great law of peace. A lot of the Iroquois were actually upstairs while the while they were coming up with the Constitution, and like the founding fathers would run upstairs and talk with the Iroquois, and then they would come back down. Differences though between the Great Law of Peace and our Constitution is that they allowed the women to vote, and the women could actually veto going to war. I think we should have left that part in. It's very interesting. But it says U.S. jobs requiring. Yep. Spank Monkey says plan for the whole radio spectrum to be jammed in D.C. They will not want truckers and people to communicate either by CB or ham radio. Some radios can operate in the cell phone frequency range. Yep. Evan says, you've lost 60% of your income. You've been blacklisted by your country. Join the convoy because speak loud in the words, boycotts can be ignored. No, they can't. When people aren't getting food, you can't ignore that. I'm sorry, but you can't. You cannot ignore not getting food. You cannot ignore not getting gas. You can cause way more. Evan, like let me put it to you this way. I'm not trying to knock what you did. I admire you for what you did. I got to put that out there. And I support you 1,000%. I love what you did, and you are 1,000% correct. Okay, you guys, you brought national attention to what is going on in your country, and it's amazing. Like I hate to say, like even the Iranians have come out and said, "Whoa, Justin Trudeau, you went too far," and it's bad. Things have gotten bad. You're like all the way in like crazy town, like dictatorship, when the Iranians are telling you that you're crazy. I'm just saying, in America, it's just a different country, right? And we have different laws, and we need a different strategy. Okay. Please don't think that I'm not. Like, I have all the respect in the world for you. I really do. And you know what? If you'd like to come on and talk about it, I would love to have you on. Why don't you send me an email? Okay. Please send me an email. I'd love to talk with you about what you've been through. You can find my email if you go to my channel and you click the about. It's there. My email is it should be right left of center 54@gmail.com. If you don't remember that, like I said, go to the about part in this channel and you can find it. I would love to talk to you. If you'd love to come on, let me know if you'd love to come on. I would love to talk to somebody who's actually like going through this now. And thank you for everything you've done. And you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right that you have brought attention to this. I'm not trying to say that what you did was for nothing. Okay. I'm not your enemy. I'm actually your supporter. I support you. All I'm saying is that what the techniques for Canada, right? They're not the techniques for America. That's all I'm saying. But I'd love to have you on. I'd love to talk to you because trust me, my government has been watching what you guys have been doing, and they're prepping for it. They're like, oh, we're not going to let this go on for like 3 or 4 weeks. No, we're going to start off with, and you guys just have the cops. They're taking us all the way up to the National Guard, and nothing has even happened yet. Plus, you guys had the low level. Yeah, you had like low level, not even a false flag, but you guys had, low level like Antifa stuff. Like we have high level Antifa stuff, right? But please, no, you guys are a different country with a different situation. But thank you for everything that you've done. I'm so sorry to hear that you've lost 60% of your income. I'm sorry that you have been blacklisted by the country that you were born in. Actions speak louder than words. I am saying to take action. Boycotts are actions. I'm just saying it's a different country, and I think we need different techniques. That's all I'm saying. But thank you. Adam Six Killer. I'm hoping for some new people to run for office that aren't pirates instead of being told. We need to know what to do and be satisfied with them admitting they're at least trying. At least that's honest. Yeah, it is so hard to get a decent person in office that won't immediately sell out. People, they'll give lip service, but how do you know somebody's actually a genuine person? Boycott is a pretty good idea. Convoy already started and it won't stop. And it says boycotts don't work. Who cares if a bean canning company goes down? Dude, I'm not talking about companies going down. They will just buy their beans from China. What does that accomplish? Okay, okay, maybe things in Canada don't work the same way that they do in America. And like I said, please email me. Come on the show. Come on the show. Let's talk about this. I would love to talk about this with you. Because like I said, I don't know Canadian history, but we can go through history and we can talk about boycotts, and maybe you're not familiar with our history, because we have a history of boycotts and sit-ins, and that worked. That has already, that boycotts have a proven track record in America. Like I said, we're in different countries, so you probably don't understand how boycotts have worked in America if you think that they don't work. And maybe they haven't worked in Canada, but like I said, two different countries, completely different laws. Okay? But much love to you. Love to you and much support. Oh, hi Mike Moles, you call me Fireball again. Yeah, that's what BLM said. I don't know what Bob, I don't know what that's in reference to. That's what BLM said here. Said, bless you, you're sorry for my losses. Thank you. BLM said it was okay. I don't know what BLM said was okay. Don't criticize me. Most of America agreed with BLM. I think you're all right. You think they killed 39? But I've seen a range of like 20 some to upwards of that. I'm not sure. Burning a symbol of freedom to protest is like a track runner doing something himself in the foot because he doesn't like his shoes. Okay. How is burning a symbol? It's okay to burn buildings and kill truckers held out for a week. It would be over. Which BLM? No BLM. Oh, Mina. Oh, cool. Hey, got somebody in here from Australia. You guys stay strong down there in Australia. I know that things are crazy in Australia too. I've heard I've heard they're like taking the Aborigines away. That sounds completely crazy. And, they're trying to force them to take things they don't want. Lots more whites killed by cops last year than blacks. Admiral says Act Blue, Democrat campaign fundraising organization, paid for the BLM website. If you click donate and scroll down, you'll see who funded it. Bob says good people don't burn down buildings. Actually, look at the stats. You could say, why are more men arrested than women are, and cops are biased? Okay. Evan, it forces the government hand to crush the peaceful protest. That exposes the corruption of the government. The support of the people will sway towards justice. Hey, you know what, Evan? I think something else that you're missing maybe is that for America, right, or on America's side, is for years and years and years now, right? Because we've been dealing with Antifa and BLM for what is like 5-6 years at this point. We've already I don't know. I don't know. This is why I'd love to talk with you in person. Because I don't understand. I don't understand, or I haven't been following Canadian history, but we've been being beaten in the streets for years now. Okay, like this isn't anything new. Not only have we been being beaten in the streets by these Antifa and BLM folks, but like they've also like they've graduated to shooting and killing people, right? Like I don't know. Evan, you can tell me if I'm wrong. Like, is this the first time that something like this has happened with you guys? I don't know. I don't know Canada. I really don't. I know that you guys have a reputation for being polite than we are, but yeah, we've been being crushed, and our governments have been crushing. Not only have our governments been crushing peaceful protesters, but we have a person in office who is a vice president, and that person has actually been bailing people out of jail, right? This person has been bailing people out of jail who have been violent towards us and hurting us. Yeah, the person in office is bailing those people out of jail. So I think we're in different spots. Like, yes, I think that for Canada, this is something new, but this is old hat. This is old hat for Americans. It's been years and years and years and years of this. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm done. I'm done. I think we need to be done. Oh, Mina from Australia says, I'm sorry, I just want to hear BLA now when women talk. Okay. Bob Denver says, family home is a big reason. Evan will not win any of your battles without overwhelming support of the people. Convoy is on its way no matter how big government response people win. It's about pulling back the veil. Evan, I think the veil here has been pulled back. And we do have the overwhelming support of our people. We do. That's why people over here, we're called the silent majority for a reason, because we are the majority. And we are the majority. We do have the majority of folks on our side. And like almost, it's such a action here that actually supports mandates. Like, so I don't think that I think it's two different countries, right? And just we're in two different scenarios. But please, hey, tell me that you're going to email me and you want to come on, because I'd love to talk to you. Her idea could work. It's not a bad idea. The trucker said that a few days ago. All right, Tanya agrees with Evan. Okay, nice dream. Good night and all. Yep, good night, Tanya. I'm about to go too. Bring back the Keystone. Yes, boycotts works. Then why do you have mandates? They worked. Okay, if boycotts worked, why do we have mandates? Because we haven't done the boycott yet. That's why we haven't tried a boycott. We actually that's why it hasn't worked, because it hasn't been done. But like I said, we've done in our history. We have had great success from boycotts. But well, I guess, if I want to be technical, it's a combination, or the our civil rights movement, like in the 1960s, that was a combination of protests and boycotts. And we have had protests, and we have been protesting peacefully for the last 5 years, but we have been getting attacked and people have been killed. And as I think Bob was saying, I think it's up to 39 people. We've lost 39 people. So I don't know, Evan, maybe it's just that maybe when you get to, and I hope this doesn't happen in Canada, but I think that I think we're looking at this from different points in the fight. I wonder if you would feel differently if 39 of you had been lost. If you'd lost 39 Canadians to the cause, maybe you'd want to try to switch techniques. But you could also say it's Canada, like it's not going to get to that point, you know. And I don't know. Like I said, please email me. I'd love to talk with you about your opinion. Like I said, I don't know that much about Canada. I'm guessing, you know, I really would love to talk to you. Curated style. One of the first videos I ever saw a few years ago that effectively explained the electoral college argument. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you, curated style. Evan, you must physically see the true face of the government to understand the truth. Bro, I've seen it. I've seen it. I have seen it. Country is far off worse than no. Oh no. It is not worse off than I ever suspect. Yo, check out my 3-hour long Spygate video. It is not worse off than I suspect. Mina, can you balance a tea set on your head? Hold on, Mina. Let's check this out. Can I balance a tea set on your head? I don't know if that's some kind of weird Australian joke, but what I do have are these crazy like teacup shoes. Right? So let's see. Boop. So the answer is yes. Sorry. I'm guessing that's not what you meant. Okay. Sorry, I'll do anything to show off my shoes, man. Back here on the shelf, I have some like my crazy shoe collection. So yeah, I don't really know what that meant, but yeah, like if I can show off my shoes and add a little levity into like a very serious situation, I totally will. If you don't force interruption, the plan laid long ago will reach to fruition. You have no. Oh no. Oh honey, no, I don't obey. You know why this girl doesn't obey? You know. No, we don't obey. Once again, America, Second Amendment. We don't obey here. Okay, we didn't give up our rights. I'm a 2A girl all the way. Just ask the guy who broke into my house. All right, you're leaving out. Evan, you didn't say whether or not you were gonna email me. Please, Emma. You folks need a convoy because we need you to have a convoy. If you guys not now, our show will be for nothing. We need to present. Okay, you know what? It's too bad you left because that is actually the best argument that I heard for it so far. And I said, hey, you got to give me a good argument. I'll say, Evan, and you're probably gone. And I finally read and actually that's actually a decent argument. I'd love to talk about that with you further. So this actually touches me. It says you need a convoy because we need you to have a convoy. Oh, so you're saying, all right, well, so having a convoy in that it would be like a thing for like a message to the world to show that we're in solidarity with the Canadian truckers and I guess the convoy that is from where else are they doing that? New Zealand. I know there's a New Zealand convoy to show that that the whole world is fighting back, to be a message like that. I gotta think on that. I do. Oh my goodness. Could my mind be changed? I don't know. I gotta think about that. You actually gave me something to think about. That's a good point. So people said, can my mind be changed? I might have to sleep on that. Really good point to show the world that everyone is solidarity. I'm still wondering if we can show the world that we are standing in solidarity though without doing an Occupy thing. Can we still do that? And like I said, just drive across the country and have people come out and just, hey, and wave flags and show that, hey, like we're standing up and we're protesting. That's cool. But you have to understand that we will get false flagged. Like, yeah, and people will go to jail and they'll be false flagged. But no, that's definitely, you gave me something to ponder, and now it's too late. You're gone. Huh. Oh wait. Oh, Evan. Oh, I scrolled down. Oh, you're still here. Okay. Well, I gotta go through the rest of these things. No, that's actually a good point. I said I'm actually, like I said, you actually do. You have to give me a really really good answer, and that is really, that really is a good answer. I don't know. I have to sleep on that one. I have to sleep on that one. I gotta call some people. I have to see how this fits into my worldview. Huh. See, I'm actually amazingly open to ideas, but that's just an argument that I have not considered. But I never said I had all the answers, but I did say I am open to, yeah, you have to give me a good argument, and Evan, you gave me a good argument, but you never said whether or not hey, Evan, are you going to come on my show or not? Just let, since you're still there, tell me if you want to come on, and we can talk about this more. Hey, Beekeeper Bear Salon, hello. Pork lamp. It's a bit more of salt. I'm trying to read through these faster so I can get off here and go to bed. It's a bit more of a show, solidarity to wake up normies. The truckers who partake in the convoy know it's a risk for them. Mina says, Aussies are not polite like Canadians, but the commie government took over. Pork lamp. They're going to gas protest like they did on Jan 6, where they called it a peaceful protest, something that, yeah, that was okay. Canadians can never be violent. Not really. That's mean. They're usually confrontational. Okay. That's right. Right on pork. Heaven, from your explanation of all horrors you guys are facing, sounds like boycotts are not preventing any deaths. Once again, we haven't been boycotting, Evan. You agree with the general strike? You killed the Christmas spirit. Two-handed even. You're okay, but you're being cheap. But thanks so much for the effort. Oh, against the jerks. Beekeeper says, awesome. Fifth dimensional perception. No, we did not, Mr. Chuck. We don't truck into the blue cities for a week and see the snot fly. Evan says, is still here, or maybe we could do both. I mean, maybe a two-tiered front. Anybody who's willing to go into the DC gulag, y'all, and the Canadians don't have a DC gulag, I'm guessing, or maybe you do now. You just don't even know. Evan apologizes for pure garbage remarks being very Canadian. No, Evan. I have no. I didn't actually see a garbage. I don't think you had any garbage remarks. Like, I'm not a snowflake. I'm not gonna fall apart. I'm not falling apart. I found you to be very very respectful. Hello, from much love from Ohio. Thank you. Is it me, or did the spirit of Christmas die behind you? Oh, the spirit. Okay, you got me. That was good. Yes, I'm married. Sadly enough, for people who would actually to the convoy would turn the tides. The convoy would be the only gift to the media. Would you consider marrying an Aussie? I think my husband would take issue with that. And in America, bigamy is against the law. Yeah, but back to the United Front thing. All right, Evan, send Evan. All right, so it's late here. I gotta go to bed. I'm gonna wrap things up here, folks. Evan, send me an email. I'd love to have you on, even if you don't show your face. If you just want to do a thing where, like, have your voice on here, I'd love to talk to you. And with that, I'm gonna wrap things up for the evening. Thank you for joining me tonight. I had a nice time with everybody, and I will talk to you later. All right. Goodbye. Peace. Love you. Hey, and stay strong in Canada. Keep fighting the good fight.